Alright, now to try and one-shot the Mutant boss node in Doom 2 Difficulty 2. Coming into this node, we'll have queued up all of our cooldowns for all of the characters that are going to be in the Astonishing X-Men participants for this node, and then Omega Red will replace Kitty Pryde. I put him next to Bishop. However, there's a key point to how I run this node, and that is if the opening move Zemo puts his ult and then ability blocks Omega Red, or in his chain after ability blocking one of the characters, specifically Beast, it chains and puts slow on Omega Red. I'll back out at that point from the battle and go back in where Zemo then wouldn't have his ult ready. So that might be the case here in a second. So again, the very first thing, if this happens, if you get an ability block or a slow on Omega Red, the first thing to do is to back out of the battle without doing any change. And that was the perfect outcome, what we just saw. So now we'll be able to start with Beast's ult, get speed up and defense up. We'll start with the special on Bishop to take out Jubilee. We'll start here and try to get a blind on Jubilee, which works, so no stun coming our way. That hurt. And that's the end of the round. You back out. So unfortunately, RNG like that can be really frustrating. And I don't restart the node because I'm still in a good position because the ability block opening ult's done and I've already have to heal up a character now. So I might as well just go back in and start without the Zemo ult and still be in a position, ideally, if cooldowns are as I understand them, to still get this done. So we'll use the basic here to try to flip some of these buffs on these guys. We'll get slow out on the right side. Ideally, we're going to take out Jubilee and get some turn meter. Now we can go ahead and stun, and this is important. Stun Thanos with Jubilee's ult. Of course, if he starts taunting, you're in a real bad position. Now, if we're lucky, which doesn't feel like we are, we'll be able to get Omega Red to ability block. Yes, we'll get Omega Red to ability block Taskmaster, and this is usually a good sign. Now, there's always stuff that could go wrong, but ultimately now we want to get rid of Taskmaster ASAP because he can be really brutal. If he gets his ult off, it's just really difficult to recover from that. So we'll just go ahead and use her special on him and take him out and put slows on everybody, not that they weren't already. Here, probably a good time to use the Bishop ult because it gets rid of one character, but also takes the deflects off of Doom, which here ultimately we're going to be in hopes that we can ability block Doom with the Omega Red ultimate. So, well, this probably isn't going to be a very good run now that I just got erased by Kestrel, took out my Beast, so this is going to be a much harder match. I might as well try to take out the Doom for my lane mates who can then continue the node on cleanup, or if I wanted to, I could clean up the node myself here by healing up again and bringing in Kitty instead of Omega Red, being as Omega Red's sole purpose is to stop, of course, the Doom using ability block as much as and effectively as possible. We got to get these falcons away from doing any of their term meter business. Importantly, if we can maintain control, we might actually be able to pull this off without Beast, though it's not ideal. It doesn't seem to be impossible either. Maybe we can get a ability block on, probably do it on to the Thanos, and that's because he still has his taunt available, and ultimately we don't want him doing that. I think Zemo's going to be a big problem here if I can't get my... Oop, she's gone. That's what I was worried about. Yep, so, well, this is actually not a terrible outcome in that I'm actually probably going to get close to finishing it, and then the cleanup should be trivial for my peers. It's still a major pain to do this node in any instance, and if you can get away with a... which I don't think I'm going to get away with it now. That hurt. I don't know how many turns these guys get. Jeez Louise. Bad position. Well, with luck, with any luck, I can get some control back here. Maybe I could stun. That didn't feel good. Get this guy. Let's just try to go for it. Well, Omega Ray to the rescue, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Yep, he did it. Pulled it off. Well, there you go. 2-shot on the Mutant boss node. The worst audio commentary ever.